Hey guys, I am really winging it today, but I feel like today's video is an appropriate topic to do that for because it's all about personal branding, specifically how to use your personal brand to leverage your business and grow your business as a freelance copywriter. This is something that I have done over the years, and even though I've actually grown out the team and I have a handful of writers who are supporting me behind the scenes with client deliverables, I based it all on my personal brand. And that's why it's appropriate for me to be showing up kind of just winging it today and a little bit unprepared, like I haven't washed my hair yet and I don't have all of my notes, but like that's part of what makes me so me. And part of showing up as your true, authentic self is part of the process of putting together a personal brand that is going to connect with the right people. So if you don't know me, hey, I'm Jill Wise. I'm a brand and marketing strategist, conversion copywriter, and business coach. And through both my Done For You studio and my education platform, I've worked with, coached, and taught literally hundreds of entrepreneurs how to make good money online. And a lot of them were focused on building a personal brand just like I was. And the way that I see it, there's 3 key areas that you need to consider when you're developing a strategy for your personal brand going forward. And I'm gonna get into each of those here and hopefully not ramble for you too much because, like I said, not much planning for this video. Now, the reason why we didn't have much planning for this video is because if you know anything about my story, you know that I have a very active 1-year-old running around and I don't have as much time as I used to go through all of the little details like this. But I'm also learning how to trust myself and trust the process and know that I know what I'm talking about, so maybe I don't need every single word planned out in advance. Honestly, I think it's working for me. I feel like my videos need a lot less editing and I'm able to be a little bit more creative, and it's not all bad is what I'm getting at. So with that, let's get into the 3 key areas that I think you need to focus on if you want to develop a personal brand strategy that's going to resonate with and attract your ideal customers and clients. Number 1 is your positioning. And while a lot of other people will talk about your positioning and your messaging and all of that, I think that I approach it a little bit differently because what I consider your positioning is not just your value proposition and what makes you different from your competitors, like tactically or in terms of the features and benefits of working with you, but also your personality. Like, what makes you so special? What about your interests? Where do you connect with your ideal clients? Where can you resonate with them? Like, where do you really understand them? All of that stuff is so much more important. For me, a lot of people come to my studio or come to the Biz Bar and purchase resources from there because they connect with my story. They've been where I've been, or I've been where they have been, and they see themselves in the story that I share. Also, a lot of our clients, we connect on like a personal level in terms of our values and our interests. Like maybe the mom life thing isn't for everyone, but the fact that I'm into like healthy, balanced living and just trying to do the best that I can every day, and personal development and like outdoor lifestyle and just having fun and living life and all of that stuff, that is part of what makes me unique. And that's where I can connect with my ideal clients in a really special way. The caveat here is, though, that I don't want you to take these personal interest pieces that are at surface level and stop there. I want you to dig deeper and think about who your ideal client is and what parts of them really connect with the parts of you. That's where like your values come in, and your personality and your voice and the things that you are working towards and the goals that you guys have for both you and them if you're helping them with their business, for example, if you are a freelance copywriter like I am. So I see a lot of people, they might start to consider these interest pieces, but they stop there, and it needs to be deeper than that if it's going to be impactful. Along with this positioning in terms of like your interests and your personality and your voice, you also need to consider, of course, the value proposition and the benefits to them and just the overall messaging that you're using to convey the results that you provide, which leads me to the next area that you need to consider in order to develop a strong personal brand strategy, especially as a freelance copywriter, and that is your results. Specifically, what transformation can you offer your clients? Like, yes, we are writers, but people don't really care that we like to write words, right? Like, they want to know what we can do for them. So that's why your results are super important, and your results are going to be different than another copywriter's, and yours can tie into your personal brand as well. To give you an example, some of the results that we provide through our conversion copywriting and our marketing studio are not just the word counts or the revenue, but also like the overall impact in their business and then the impact that their business has on their life. Like when my clients come to me, if they're saying that they're overworked, they're getting on too many sales calls, and they're just like wasting a ton of time doing all of these different things, The first thing that I want to help them do is pin down their focus and just get really specific and clear on what their priorities are in order to fix all of these other things. Because something that makes me different than another copywriter is that I really value work-life integration. Like, I don't think that we need to work more hours in order to scale. That is so important to me. And that not only applies to me, but the clients that come through the studio and our coaching clients, all of them. So that's part of the results. And when I'm talking about the results, that's something that I would highlight in there. So we're not just increasing email conversions to make more money, but increasing email conversions so that we can optimize the impact that every single email makes so that they can go live their life outside of it, right? Not how are we just going to send out something right now, but how can we set up an automation that's going to run in the background all the time so that eliminates the work that you need to do ongoing. So this is just to give you an idea, right? Like, when you are thinking about the results and the transformation that you provide, it can tie back into your original positioning and your personality and your values. Again, see, your values keep coming up. So all of this ties together, and that's how you can really start to leverage like the personal branding aspect and what makes you so unique. If you've heard me talk anywhere before, you have probably heard me talk about the importance of having a method and a process and systems and just workflows to follow for absolutely everything. And that is true if you want to set yourself apart from the competition as a personal brand as well. Of course, I am biased, but I think this is especially important for us freelance copywriters because all of us can do a lot of the same things, right? Like, we can write emails, we can write websites, we can write blog posts. But if you want to stand out, you need to have your own special way of doing things. Now, it's okay if you don't have a defined method right away, like you don't have to panic and sit in your feelings for a while here and just try to come up with a method right now, but know that this should be your end goal, right? Like, start with something for now and it can evolve over time. Also, when people are starting to define their method, I think that they get too hung up in the high level details and they try to make it sound flashy and all of that kind of stuff. But when you look at your method as like maybe part of your process or your workflow instead, and what steps that you take that make you different than the competition and how that relates to the results that you provide in the end, that makes it a lot easier. So you can start to look at the specific steps throughout a project. So like, what questions are you asking them in your onboarding intake form? And what questions are you asking them in your kickoff call? Do you have a kickoff call? How do you onboard them? Do you have any check-ins along the way? How do you do your research? How do you collate and collect all of that research? How do you organize everything? How do you develop the strategy? All of these pieces are part of your unique method. And if you are trying to develop a personal brand, you can talk about all of these different steps or these different pieces of your method. And you can become a thought leader in your space by sharing how you go about things, especially if it's different from everybody else, because that's the key here, right? You want to be different from everyone else. And like I said, this does not have to be perfect in the beginning. You just need to get something and start there. My business has been in constant evolution since the day that I started this, and that was years ago. And then when I went full-time in my business, I took it one step further. And at every single stage of growth that the business has seen since then, I've had to go back and look at things behind the scenes and our messaging and our marketing processes and our sales funnels and everything, and make sure that it all aligns with that new level that we're at. So it makes total sense if it's not perfect right now, and it's not going to be perfect. You just need to be clear about what it is that you're saying and what it is that you're putting out there. And overall, having that clarity and that confidence in your message is going to show. So when you consider these three areas, being your positioning, which includes your personality and your messaging and your value proposition and all those good things, and your results, specifically how they tie back to your positioning, and then also your method as it ties back to your results, then it makes a huge difference in the bottom line of your business. Because no longer are you just another copywriter in a sea of copywriters, because there are a lot of us, but you start to stand out as separate and unique and distinct from the competition. And also, I think that we should wrap up with a rant about how business is human and humans connect with humans. And even if your business is B2B, like most copywriters are, I guess all copywriters are writing copy for businesses. Anyways, even though we are talking to other business owners, it can still be human. So it's still okay that I'm showing up here with unwashed hair and not a super structured outline ready to go, because you can see, hopefully, my personality and my enthusiasm and what I know coming through that. And we're all humans and we're all busy, and today is just not the day to do the hair. At least I put the face on, but it's not a hair day. And also, we don't all have to be absolutely perfect all of the time, because that's not even relatable. So it's okay if you show up as imperfect. It's okay if you take imperfect action. That's actually what I recommend. Imperfect, aligned action as much as possible. That will get you closer to your goals. And that's how you're gonna stand out as a freelance copywriter who is building a personal brand that attracts your dream clients. So I will leave you with this. It's a bit quicker of a video today, again, because of the time crunch, but at least we're here, we did it. If you like this conversation and you want to hear more about how to grow and scale your copywriting business, I have a ton of other videos about this topic, so I will leave a few of those linked in the description below. And if you have any other questions, let me know. I feel like this is just the first iteration of this conversation, or the first time that we're approaching this conversation, and there's so many other things that we can get into and specifics that we can dive into, but I would love to shape that around what you actually need. So if you have any questions around personal branding or how to develop your personal brand as a freelance copywriter, leave them in the comments below and I will add them to my notes to come back to you in future videos. And always just remember that even though there's so many of us doing this and so many of us are talented, it's okay. It's not too saturated and you still can stand out and you can still build a sustainable and profitable business this way that aligns with what you want. And I don't know, I think it's pretty cool that we get to write a lot of the time, right? So I'll leave you with that and thank you so much for watching.